What are you going to do?
It's day 74, and I didn't take my own advice.
Oh,
Yeah. So
that happens to you a lot.
it does happen to me a lot. I'm really good at giving other people advice, and then I never take my own advice. But I should, because my advice is really good.
It is good advice, but
I don't know. So I've kind of stalled a little bit on the weight loss front.
Mhm.
And I think that my advice to people was always don't make too many changes at once.
Right.
Because now I have no idea what's causing the stall. It could be the carbs that I'm eating for carb cycling. It could be the carb cycling. It could be the weightlifting. It could be, there's a ton of things in here that could be, it could be, a type of food I'm eating. It could be the dairy, whatever. But I just rattled off about 5 or 6 changes that I've made over the last 2 weeks to my diet and to my routine. And now I have no way of tracking back and saying, oh yeah, it was adding this that's causing that.
So what are you going to do?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my baseline.
You told me to go back to the beginning. So I have.
Okay.
I'm going to go back to the foods that I was eating before. I am going to keep the weightlifting just because that's exercise.
Well, that was the exercise.
Right. I doubt that's causing me to gain too much weight. I'm not lifting 300 pounds yet. I'm still working on, warm up weight, basically what I would call warm up weight. So I don't think I'm packing on a ton of muscle. So I can do a little bit of, deduction there and kind of, come up with that theory. But don't make too many changes at once. Don't introduce too many foods at once, one at a time. So I'll go back to what we were eating before. I will cut out, I'm going to cut out cassava flour, which I was, to get my carbs up, I was using some cassava flour things.
It's bird, sprinkle the flour. Sprinkle the flour on the do. Sprinkling the flour.
But I think the problem was was so when you're doing like keto stuff, everything's high fat. And the problem with I found a really good bread, substitute, because we're like, oh, we're going to have carb day. We could have this bread. But it was really just too high in fat.
Yeah. And so
it was like high fat, high carb. Probably not
and again,
a good idea.
Not doctors. I feel like we don't have to say this every time, but you do. So
I feel like we have to
say that we're not doctors. I'm not giving medical advice. However,
when you're doing people what we do, but yes, I think it's important because you're right. Experiment on yourself is good.
Yes. So I'm telling you that the information that I have says that the 2 levers that you pull are fat and carbs. And they got to pull in opposite directions. So when you increase carbs, you reduce the fat. When you increase the fat, you reduce the carbs. You keep your protein the same. Right. And so another change that I made is I was having a little bit of trouble feeling full with the carbs because I was probably so used to eating fat. So I added a little bit more fat, but I didn't reduce the carbs. Right. So that might be the ticket right there, but I'm going to wipe everything, go back to square one and
square one at day 74.
So, but yes, but I think that's more, good. This is more of a, here's what we're going to do going into the next one. And then I'm going to, because we are going to do this again.
Yes. Well, we're coming up with...
Spoiler alert.
No, but we're coming up with our goals.
So I don't know if we're going to do it like day 76 because it's going to be day 1 of the next. Probably not. Because I think we need to sit down and really work out what our rules are.
We do, but I'm still
Let's say a week behind maybe.
Okay. But no, I'm still the workout every day and the water and diet. It's pretty much the same. And maybe the only thing that'll change is I really don't want to take a picture of myself every day.
Well, I think
or even you do that, but you know what I mean?
We're going to replace that with some spiritual aspect, whether it be meditation, prayer, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
Adding that into the mix, because I think we've worked really well, I think, on the mind part of this, on this now we got to add the spirit
Right.
along with the body.
Yeah. But mind is really the most important one. I think.
Yes, it is.
So we'll always keep working on that one.
Right. Oh yeah. No. I'm not
But-
like we're not going to stop. You know. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
you know.
I guess, and I feel kind of bad because I think that some of the more challenging aspects of this, and I guess we'll probably talk about that tomorrow, but like for some people giving up alcohol for 75 days, I'm sure that would be really hard. But I'm like, it doesn't bother me.
Didn't even think about it
It
actually.
doesn't
so.
bother me.
But yeah. I
But
think-
that's because both you and I really we do like experimenting on ourselves. We don't seem to mind that. And obviously, I hope if somebody goes back and just watches the first one, and then you watch this one and the one tomorrow, you're going to see a big difference in
yeah.
my hair.
And we'll do final numbers tomorrow, and I mean they're still pretty good.
Oh yeah, no, the
you know,
numbers are good.
So we'll talk about that tomorrow. But tomorrow, day 75, we'll do our retro.
Oh, we're gonna do a retro.
So we'll talk about how much weight we've lost. We'll talk about inches a little bit because we actually didn't do that at the beginning, which we should have.
We should have, but I think I have our old numbers, so I think that we might be good to go.
Okay,
there.
all right. So if you can dig those up, we'll
I'll dig
figure
up
that.
the numbers.
And then we'll just talk about what worked, what didn't work, and what we're gonna do next.
Right.
So
But that's
it's
mañana.
mañana.
Jinx.
I know. You owe me a Coke.
You owe me a soda.
All right. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay.
Bye.